families, as they are feeling the impact of this baby formula shortage across the country, it's taking a toll in many more ways than one. In an opinion piece for USA Today, Carli Pierson calls for solutions, and she calls for them now, writing that there's little conversation about moms who don't breastfeed. Carli joins me now. So, Carli, help us understand just the impact of this formula shortage and how it is impacting moms who can't breastfeed. I mean, even if they wanted to, there is so much pressure on all of us moms to do that. It was definitely something that I had to really let go when I realized there was only so much milk that I had and I needed formula.
Right. Well, thanks for having me on. Like a lot of things, I mean, you know, you talked about the babies. Part of the conversation that we often leave out is what's happening to the moms. And there's a lot of pressure on women to do everything right. When you become a mom, that pressure increases tenfold. There's pressure from the left, there's pressure from the right, there's pressure from social media, there's pressure from family members. And it's hard enough to have a new baby. And if you're able to breastfeed, if you're unable to or decide not to, which is something we often don't talk about, women who decide not to breastfeed, and that is also their choice, there's even more pressure. So I think women are really struggling right now, feeling really guilty for not having breastfed or not breastfeeding longer if they're, like your senior correspondent just said, going to 7 stores to try to find formula for their baby. I mean, there's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of added pressure. There's worry about how you're going to feed your child. I think women are really struggling right now with a lot of stress.
Right. And they shouldn't. Look, I'll be the first one to say I stressed about it, too. And then I realized, my doctor even told me, formula is filled with vitamins and all the good stuff that our babies can get. And I had to take the pressure off myself. And you know what? My kids turned out just fine. So moms, take the stress off. Now, in your piece, you do specifically talk about how you are worried about Black women and this shortage. Go into a little more detail about why that is, Carli.
Well, I think that you know, that's a great question, and I wanted it to be more than just a side note. It's a subject of many more columns and that have been written and that need to continue to be written. We know that there are major healthcare disparities and health outcome disparities in the United States. We know that women of color, Black women, Latina women, immigrant women, undocumented women, poor women, period, paragraph, those are the women who are the least able to breastfeed, to body feed, because they need to go back to work. And then there's other factors that go into that. Black women are at the top of that list in terms of healthcare and health outcome disparities in this country. And it's unacceptable in 2022 that that's a reality for us in a G7 country.
Now, President Biden did address this yesterday. He's urging states to allow families to use federal aid to actually buy more brands while importing more formula and cracking down also on price gouging. I mean, it's a shame to think we even have to worry about price gouging when it comes to formula for our babies. Do you think that this is even enough, or can more be done?
I think President Biden, first of all, I think President Biden is doing his best to deal with the crisis now. And as soon as that's solved, as soon as we've imported as much as possible to get through this supply crisis at the moment, this acute crisis, we need to really attack the problem. And the problem is, and women have been screaming it at the top of their lungs for decades, we have a maternal health crisis in the United States of America. Women don't get, United States is the only country out of 41 developed countries that doesn't have paid maternity leave. Estonia gives women a year and a half of paid maternity leave. And I'm not necessarily arguing for that. But what I am saying is it is remarkable in the wealthiest country in the nation, we don't have something like, for example, paid maternity leave, where women could have the chance to really try to breastfeed if they so choose. And like you, I was unable to breastfeed. I chose not to breastfeed. And my partner, who's a doctor, said the kids will be fine. Formula has a lot of good stuff in it, like you said, and my kids are fine. You know, and I was lucky I had that comment to calm me down, because all of the pressure on social media and everything was, you know, women breastfeeding for 2 years. And that's another point I'd like to make. I think we're doing it to ourselves. As women, this pressure of, well, your kid's going to be, you know, biologically disadvantaged if you don't breastfeed for 2 years. Now, that's just not true. And it's entirely unhelpful. So, I think the government really needs to look at the way we treat women in America compared to other countries, lots of other countries. And then two, women society, we need to take a look at all of the pressure we're putting on moms to do everything at the same time and giving them absolutely no slack when other countries are. I mean, it's just remarkable.
I'm with you, Carli. Carli Pierson, you can read her op-ed in USA Today. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.